Namaste, namaskar. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to one and all to this beautiful and a very, very special day. It is a special day as it's a live virtual launch of Fischer Facade System, an all-in-one solution for facades. Everyone. For than 7 decades, Fischer has garnered a widespread reputation for designing, engineering, and building strong and innovative products. It has been driven by constant will to change and strive for better solutions. Presently, with 50 subsidiaries and 38 countries, production locations in 7 countries, over 5,200 plus employees, and with over approximately 1,500 industrial property rights internationally, has made the Fischer Group of companies one of the most innovative companies worldwide. I am excited, for sure each one of you watching are super duper excited for this live virtual launch of Fischer Facade System, an all-in-one solution for facades. So let's begin this great, fantastic, beautiful, as I told you, a special day with a big round of applause and a big smile on your face. Everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fischer Facade Systems offer an innovative and high-quality all-in-one solution for secure and aesthetic installation of facades. As fixing specialists, we offer architects, planners, and craftsmen with necessary support from the planning phase through calculations to just-in-time delivery to the construction site. The provision of planning software and instruction for the installers are also part of the service, as in advising on the selection of the right system so that building facade meets the ever-growing industry requirement. So, now to elaborate further on this subject, I would connect with Mr. Christian Knoll to talk about Fischer System Tech. Before I welcome him on the screen, we have Christian Knoll is a managing director of Fischer System Tech since 2016. He studied mechanical engineering and business administration at the University of Applied Sciences in Munich, Germany. He received his management education at the Indian Institute of Management in Ahmedabad. He has 20 years of experience in the construction supply industry. Nearly 1/3 of his professional career he served in Asia, predominantly in India, building up and leading subsidiaries of multinational corporations. No. So now, everyone, put your hands together while I welcome Mr. Christian Knoll on screen. Everyone together. Managing Director of Fischer System Tech since 2016. We'll talk about Fischer System Tech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Fischer Group, allow me to extend a warm welcome to you. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Christian Knoll, Managing Director of Fischer System Tech, a wholly owned subsidiary of the Fischer Group, a world-leading manufacturer of construction fixings and construction services based in Germany. I myself a German, married to an Indian wife, and my second daughter is born in New Delhi. So you see, for me, India is always a home away from home. I'm delighted to be here today to talk to you about one facade type that have gained a lot of importance and popularity of the recent years. This one facade type is the ventilated facade. I'll start with why the ventilated facade has raised great interest among today's architects, and then I will hand over to Jan Zimmerman, and he will talk to you why architects and facade contractors value our construction design and construction engineering. So the excellent response, construction response all over the world for the ventilated facade is because of its superiority over the other types of facades. The guaranteed advantages are thermal insulation, energy savings, better performance in damp conditions, maximum durability, and high aesthetic quality, minimum maintenance, and the ease of replacement. So let's have a closer look to a few out of the guaranteed advantages. First, energy savings. The ventilated air cavity enhances thermoregulation and helps make buildings more efficient, more energy efficient. It reduces air conditioning and heating consumption by around 30% and guarantees savings at the coldest and hottest times of the year. Second, easy to install and replace. The lightness of the pieces, specially designed to reduce the weight, is a great advantage when installing the system. Also, if a piece gets damaged or needs replacement, the system is very easy to repair. The high aesthetic value. The different formats available and the wide range of designs, colors, textures make the ventilated facade system even more attractive. Indeed, architects are increasingly taking this system into account in their search for optimum solutions for their most demanding projects. Fourth, durability and low maintenance. Depending on the cladding material, for example, natural stone or ceramic, it can be extremely resistant that offers greater durability than any others. It's resistant to acid corrosion, and ultraviolet rays means that its static appearance remains unaltered over time despite exposures to the sun. So please connect yourself with Fischer India. They will be able to provide you with links, project references in India, and advice. Thank you all for listening. It was a great pleasure being here today. Looking ahead, Diwali might have already announced it's coming, so I wish you a happy Diwali. Aapko Diwali Mubarak ho. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kanal, for sharing your views, and happy Diwali to you. With that, ladies and gentlemen, to understand the growing need of facade industry today, we have with us our guest of honor, Professor Saurabh Shiradonkar. Professor Saurabh Shiradonkar is currently an assistant professor, Department of Earthquake Engineering, IIT Roorkee. He received his PhD from IIT Mumbai in 2016. His area of expertise are seismic damage assessment, structural reliability and risk assessment, performance of evaluation of structures, post-earthquake safety assessment, repair and retrofitting of structures, vibration control, and non-linear analysis of structures. Before joining IIT Roorkee, he worked as a structural engineer in Katera Technologies LLP Eco Design Private Limited, Tata Blue Scope Steel Limited, and as a structural consultant for AKH India. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Let's welcome our guest of honor on screen.
Hello everyone, I am Saurabh Shiradonkar, faculty, Department of Earthquake Engineering, IIT Roorkee, and it is my pleasure to connect to Facade System launch. So to brief about the facade system and need of anchorage system in various application of civil engineering as well as in the construction sector, I will go through the small presentation. So we will start with the basic, what is the need of facade system in civil engineering. So if you look out the built up of the cities over the last few decades, then the typical example that we have is a city of Mumbai, where you can visualize and you could see from this figure that city initially, which was located only in the dock area, which is now a South Bombay region, has grown substantially. And now there is not much space left for city to expand further. So naturally, there is a need of high-rise building in Mumbai, and all of us are aware of that. But not just metro cities and the old cities like Mumbai, which need a high-rise building. Even a new second-tier cities like Pune, which has also expanded exponentially over the last 3 decades due to the globalization and the growth in the IT sector. And as you could see that the land area of Pune is also expanding. Similarly, in Bangalore, if you could look out, the land usage has increased substantially. The city has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. And we can't afford to expand its city furthermore because we need to make sure that the occupants in the cities remains connected to the educational hubs as well as with the commercial hubs. And as a result, we need to use the land more efficiently so that we can accommodate people as well as the workspaces in the available land. So then there is a need of high-rise building. And traditionally, if you look out the high-rise building which were constructed a couple of decades back, then those high-rise buildings were constructed with concrete, along with the infill walls were also made up of brick masonry. Now the problem typically with those kind of construction that big masonry walls put up substantial dead load, and as a result there is a great need of engineering material, which leads to the addition of the cost. So to have this solution, there are the facade systems which are useful, which reduces the dead load substantially. This is the one characteristic of facade which eliminates which reduces the dead load of the building substantially. However, there are several more advantages of facade system, and in order to understand those, first of all, one needs to understand the various kinds of load which typically occurs in a high-rise building. So as we all know, as engineers, the typical load which are coming onto the structure are of two types. One is gravity load and other is the lateral load. So the gravity load typically comprises the dead load and the live load, which acts in a vertical direction, while the lateral load are caused by the wind actions as well as by the earthquake actions, and which act in the lateral directions. So whenever we are designing a building, particularly the high-rise building, the vertical load is naturally taken care by the structural elements, but a special care or special attention needs to be given for carrying out the lateral load to the foundation. And in that case, we need a efficient system along with the built-in lateral resistance system. So to understand that, let's quickly understand the behavior of various lateral loads. So we have two loads, wind load and the earthquake load. The fundamental difference between wind load and the earthquake load is wind load is a load which can be exerted by the wind on a building. On the other hand, the earthquake load is not the load which has been exerted. It is typically the load which has been created because of the mass of the building. So what happens during an earthquake? That ground shakes in one direction and building tries to remain at its position. And because of that, there is an inertial effect. And with the help, because of inertia effect, there is a force which is created on the building. And this we can calculate using Newton's second law. So the earthquake load is more implicit load, while the wind load is a more direct load. The another difference between these two loads is if you look out the load pattern of an earthquake, the load is cyclic in nature, while the wind load is usually acts for significant period of time only in the one direction. And as a result of this, the high-rise building, they are typically governed by the wind load compared to the earthquake load. And the reason for that, we will see it in a while. So if you consider a wind load which is acting on a structure, then you could see that the wind load acts only in the one direction, and the magnitude of the force depend upon the surface area of the building. In high-rise buildings, since we have a smaller plans and the larger heights, naturally the surface area of the building is substantially high. And as wind blows along the building direction, it exerts the pressure, and because of that, building deflects in the direction of the wind. Now, typically, since the wind is non-cyclic load, because of that deflection, there is a P delta effect, and because of this P delta effect, the gravity load, which is acting all the times, can causes the additional deformation. So this can create a problem in a high-rise building, because you need a larger stiffness to ensure that building is not deflecting excessively. But that would lead to the increase in the cost of material and the cost of the construction. So what is the solution for this? That if we could change the direction of the wind in such a way that it acts in the reverse direction, so that the deflection of the building can be naturally subsided, then it would be that will be useful to reduce the deflection and reduce the cost of the construction of the building. So the facade systems are useful to create such kind of change in direction of the wind. Typically, when facade system is being placed in the building, it changes the direction of the wind, which is we call the vortex effect. And because of that, there is a pressure which is now acting in the both the direction when wind blows in the one single direction. And as a result, it reduces the deflection of the building and reduces the P delta effect. So the facades play a very important role in the design of high-rise building, particularly when those buildings are governed by the wind loads. The another useful advantage of facade system is those systems are also adds strength and stiffness to the building. And whenever there is an addition of strength and stiffness, we could use that property to resist the earthquake load, because the earthquake loads are typically resisted with the help of strength, stiffness, and the ductility. So facade element provides us the places to dissipate the energy as well. In addition to that, the facade structure provides us the space to accommodate the various kinds of energy dissipation measures, such as the friction dampers as well as the fluid viscous dampers. And nowadays there is a lot many research already being done to install these dampers in the facade elements. So having said that, as we can see that facade elements are integral part of the high-rise building, and those are very much important when it comes to reducing the earthquake and the wind effect on a building. But in order to ensure that the facade system works efficiently, we need to connect them rigidly and efficiently to the main structural system. So there comes the role of the role of anchor is very important. In another application, if we could see that the role of anchor are also very important in the other application area, which is repair, rehabilitation, and retrofitting. So typically, as a civil engineer, we tend to focus more on the creation of a new building. However, with the need of large number of building, also there is a large need of doing the repair and the rehabilitation of the existing building. The reason for that is that we also need to reduce the carbon footprint to reduce the effect of man activities over an environment. So there is a need to ensure that the existing building will last for longer duration, so that there is less need of creating new buildings. So for that, the typical terms which are used are repair, rehabilitation, and retrofitting. So we'll quickly see the meaning of these three before moving to the application of various system for repair and for retrofitting, and role of anchorages. So typically, when you have a building that deteriorates over a time, and let's say if there is an extreme event like a hurricane and earthquake, there is a substantial drop in the strength of the building. Now, if you carry out any activity which will increase the strength of the building to the strength which was before the event, then we call it a repair measure. If we improve the building in such a way that the strength increases to the level which was at the time of the construction of the building, then it's called rehabilitation. While if we carry out a measure in which we increase the strength of the building so that it meets the current standard, then it is called the retrofitting. So these are the three terms which are commonly used, and depending upon the usage of the building, we can choose any of these three measures. There are various techniques which have been developed over a period by the research engineers which can be placed into this in the existing building to improvise its strength and to carry out the retrofitting activities. However, the important problem in this is we need a system again to connect these additional elements in the existing building, and for that we need various kind of connections, various kind of anchorages to connect this system with the existing frame elements. Thankfully, we have much of the research that has been done, also the various anchors and the processes which were developed by the companies like Fischer, which can be efficiently used to connect such kind of braces in the existing building for retrofitting and the repair measures. So in conclusion, we need several anchorages, not just for connecting braces to the existing building, but also for connection of facade in case of high-rise building. So I'm very glad to see that Fischer has taken a step to organize this event, which is beneficial to the practicing engineers. And I congratulate Fischer company as well as its employee for arranging this event for professional engineers. So my best wishes for this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Saurabh Shiradonkar, for taking your time off from the busy schedule and joining us and giving the very, very interesting presentation. Thank you once again, Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, Fischer provides a complete system for ventilated curtain facade with innovative panel anchors and complete substructure systems. It is the key to a new facade aesthetic. It not only allows architect, consultant, and planners to create facade area and joints without visible anchoring element, but also provides unimagined design freedom with glass, stone, ceramic, and many more materials. To elaborate further on this subject, now I would like to invite on screen Mr. Jan Zimmerman to talk about Fischer Advanced Curtain Wall Technology. Before I invite him on the screen, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce him. He is the Business Development Manager for Façade Systems. He studied civil engineering with special focus on facade technology at the Corporate State University, together with the Fischer Group of Companies in Germany. After graduation in 2016, he started as International Key Account Manager at Fischer and responsible for the sales of the insulation plugs to the international operating system suppliers of external thermal insulation composite systems. In 2017, he moved to the System Tech, the project business-driven subsidiary of the Fischer Group of Companies, as Business Development Manager for Facade Systems. He is responsible for the strategic development as well as the product and system portfolio adaptation to local market requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, he is in charge of the regions like Europe, Middle East, and especially India. Right now, he is on screen with us to discuss on Fischer Advanced Curtain Wall Technology. So everyone, let's welcome Mr. Zimmerman on screen.
Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. KZH. My name is Jan Zimmerman. Just like the two previous speakers, I'm working for the Fischer System Tech. The Fischer System Tech is the project-driven subsidiary of the Fischer Group of Companies. I've joined Fischer already 8 years ago, and right now I'm in charge of the business development for Fischer Facade Systems. I'm mainly looking for the markets Europe, Middle East, and especially India. First of all, I want to give you today a short overview, a short introduction into the facade types we're looking for. This facade type is called the ventilated rain screen facade. A rain screen facade is a ventilated double-layer cladding system which structurally separates the weather protection and the insulation functions. Based on this, the advantage of our system compared to others is that it's become very popular nowadays. Besides the aesthetic advantages, there are in addition functional and safety benefits, which includes the rear ventilation in the cavity with the chimney effect and the non-combustible insulation materials. The system becomes less delicate to damage than other facade systems, and it provides a wide freedom of designs. In addition, fire, noise, and lightning protections can be implemented in this kind of system. Fischer Facade Systems is a business unit within the Fischer Group of Companies, and we offer innovative and high quality all-in-one solutions for the secure and aesthetic installation of such kind of facades. So you only have one contact person for the full facade. All our system components will be delivered from a single source, which is in your case our subsidiary in India, Fischer India. This fact makes the life of our customers much easier, as they only have to call one guy for all of their questions regarding technology, regarding supply chain management, or regarding the responsibilities at all. Our system range covers all kind of applications. We are able to offer either exposed or concealed fixing solutions for any kind of facade panel materials. So for example, natural stones, ceramics, fiber cement, HPL, which is high pressure laminate, metal sheets and cassettes, aluminum composite sheets and cassettes, glass panels as well. This could be either single layered or laminated composite safety glass, and yeah, all kind of materials you can think of in this kind of a facade style. And we have different ways, but the most efficient way, most cost efficient way for fixing such kind of cladding materials to the ventilated rain screen facade is definitely the exposed fixing solution. For this kind of solution, we as Fischer offer mainly only vertical subframe systems, which consists of a wall holder and vertical profiles. Those kind of profiles or those kind of cladding materials you use for this exposed fixings will be fixed direct to that vertical profiles. either via rivets, self-tapping screws, or via special facade clamps. But all of these kind of fixing solutions have one thing in common. The fixing solution is an exposed fixing solution. So the fixing will be visible in front of the facade, from the front side of the facade. On the other side, we have the most aesthetic way to fix those cladding materials with ventilated range screen facades. There we have the concealed fixing solution. For concealed fixing facades, we offer also various systems, which consist of a vertical and horizontal level. The components of these vertical level are as well wall holders and vertical profiles, and the horizontal rail can consist out of two different styles. Either we have a horizontal rail together with some suspension clamps to hook into the horizontal rail, and those ones will be used together with undercut anchors for the rear fixing of those facade panels. On the other side, we have special horizontal profiles which can be used together with aluminum or metal cassettes to be fixed in the shadow gaps. Both systems will have the advantage to cause invisible fixings, or called invisible fixings, hidden fixings you can also say, and based on the fixation with undercuts or the fixation in the shadow gaps, those won't be visible on the front side of the facade. The Fischer Facade Systems business unit works in close proximity to markets and customers, as well as subsidiaries and local partners or local business partners across the globe. So we are worldwide active with our subsidiaries and with our here with our headquarters. We also support you guys there. In addition to the systems, we have a wide range of service, which is also part of our system approach for Fischer Facade Systems. So our Fischer specialists, either here at headquarters or also the sales and technician specialists in the subsidiaries, they love to support our customers in case of all questions. If calculation is required, if you need to select a suitable system for your current facade project, or if you want to have any other support, on-site support or anything during all the stages of your project. So we are already with you during the tender, during the briefing, specifications, through all the project pipeline up to the project is successfully finished and really well looking in your market. Therefore, we offer different kind of tools. We offer, as I already explained, the full system approach. We are offering engineering support based on any calculations, panel calculations, subframe calculations. We offer energy efficiency calculations and U-value calculations. On-site visits are also part of our service, like either for machinery, for the installation, for just seeing how the site is running or anything. We offer prefabrication, so prefabrication of any customized items, like cutted profiles or any individual undercut anchors if they are required. We are offering a facade system advisor on our homepage, which will help you based on any basic data, just like natural like the cladding material you want to use, the offset of the facade, the insulation thickness or anything like that. We'll support you by selecting a suitable system for your project with this advisor. We offer BIM and CAD data, support for any tests, approvals, certifications, everything which is required, either local or internationally based. We can arrange that and we can support you there. And we also have an in-house test laboratory for material testings. So you definitely can see that you can rely on our experience, as we as Fischer are already more than 35 years within the market for facades. So we have a lot of experience and we also have a lot of reference projects worldwide. Just to give you a short overview about that one, we have, for example, the Al-Hamra Tower in Kuwait, which is with 412 meters, the highest natural stone facade worldwide. On the other side, we have, for example, La Grande Arch in Paris, which was a facade which was clad with pin systems. And on a refurbishment, we changed 25,000 square meters of stone from pin system to undercut anchors. On the other opposite of the Statue of Liberty in New York, on the New Jersey side, we had done a skyscraper with 271 meter height with 50 millimeter natural stone. And that's also like an incredible, beautiful project we had done. But not only abroad or worldwide, we had done like a lot of projects. Also in India, we were successfully in getting the first references already there. For example, we have the RM7, which is in Bangalore. We have the Amazon campus. Both systems was done together with Alufit and a unitized facade system. So it was a glass facade actually with added natural stones within the system. We had done the metro line in Kolkata, where we had done for internal applications a full system approach together with our internal, with our facade brackets and more than 30,000 undercut anchors in an internal application. Last but not least, the private villa of Mr. Ricky Oberoi, the owner of Oberoi Realty at Juhu Beach in Mumbai, was done by us. There, Fischer India was successful due to there was like, during all the stages of the project, they was in contact with Oberoi and the facade contractor and facade companies who took the job to discuss with them and to explain them all our system approach and all the different components of the system. There we had like 4,000 square meters roughly of a granite facade on the external application, and we got some job for internal applications there as well. So all these projects and a lot more had withstood the weather conditions and impacts from nature and people during all these years, and they will continue to do so. Nevertheless, as an innovative company, we as Fischer are always interested in getting better and better and developing more efficient solutions, systems, and products for our customers and especially with our customers. So therefore, we as Fischer Group here and Fischer headquarters for System Tech, for Facade Systems, as well as Fischer India, we are definitely the right partner for you, for your future construction projects, especially when it comes to facade. So please do not hesitate and get into contact with us in case you want any support on your next facade project. We'll definitely love to support you there. Thank you guys, and Anyavad.
That was an insightful session. Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman, for sharing your views. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, Fischer cast-in channel systems refer to cold-formed and hot-rolled assortments which act like a pre-installed anchor, ensuring better load capabilities. The anchors in the Fischer cast-in channel system range from round anchors to heavy-duty I-shaped anchors. Cast-in channel system diminishes the requirement for drilling, reducing damage to structure, providing flexibility of installation, and ensuring a secure installation to withstand massive wind loads. To elaborate further on this subject, now I would connect with Mr. Emil Blum to talk about Fischer cast-in channel system. Before I introduce him on screen, I would like to take this opportunity. He is a product manager for Constantine Systems. He studied civil engineering with emphasis on facade technology at the Corporate State University, while at the same time being a trainee for the Fischer Group of companies. After the graduation in 2017, he started as a junior application engineer in the International Technical Support team, supporting Fischer subsidiaries and distributors. Just after 1 year, he moved to Dubai. In his new role as senior field engineer, he was responsible for the technical support of various accounts and projects. Since 2020, he is working as a product manager for the new Fischer product range Cast-in. He is responsible for the market development, support of the customer project, and overall global strategic alignment of the Cast-in business. Everyone, put your hands together. Let's welcome Mr. Blum on screen.
Okay. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this short presentation about Fischer cast-in channel system, FES and FBC. My name is Emil Blum. I'm the responsive product manager, and now I will give you a brief introduction about our product line. What does cast-in system even mean? In the year 2020, we have decided to introduce the cast-in anchor channel as a new field for Fischer, and we can see here there's various fixing systems. Most of them are classified as post-installed systems. So for example, we have the chemical anchor, the mechanical anchor, and also direct fastening options. And now we're also going into this option of having a pre-installed systems, which would then be basically any type of cast-in our case, specifically the cast-in channel. We believe that cast-in one day will be the leading fixing method for new concrete construction. And there are a couple of reasons pointing in this direction, and that's also why we as Fischer, who is commonly known as a company who manufactures anchors, post-installed anchors, has now decided to go in the pre-installed business as well. One of them is building information modeling. We know that nowadays we can pre-plan everything a lot better. It's more easier to pre-plan also. And the question always raises, why, if you pre-plan everything, you still would want to actually drill into the concrete? Second one would be health, safety, and environmental regulations. On some job sites globally, there is already now restrictions on the noise level, so drilling is not seen so often, or also the dust-free job sites where then different technologies of drilling have to be used, and so on. Also, we can notice that globally the level of prefabrication is generally rising and rising, so it makes more sense if you already prefabricate the concrete element to, of course, implement the anchoring elements or whatever you need already in the factory and don't do it afterwards on the job site. Also, more and more we face extreme application conditions, mostly dense reinforcement. I think we have all faced those issues when we're trying to drill into a slab and we just cannot get through because there's so much reinforcement and the concrete is also so high in strength. Also, we're not risking any damage to existing structures. Sometimes drilling is not allowed, so this again helps us with this issue. And then also it's quite an easy and simple installation. After we have fixed it into the concrete, we just need a torque wrench and no special machinery or tools. Speaking about the cast-in channels, you can see here on the right side, we have our anchor. On the back, we have our channel, of course. We have the connection channel to anchor. This is sometimes to be referred as well. We have our channel lips. And then also we have our channel bolt, or because of its T-looking shape, it's also mostly called T-bolt. Together, this builds one fastening system, and there should be always more than one anchor to be fixed on the back. Otherwise, as per the code, it's not a cast-in channel, then it's a single point fastener. Okay, speaking about the applications in facade, we have basically three applications of how those channels are being used. Most of them are commonly known, I would say, as the top of slab, which is more than 80% of all applications. Then we also have front of slab application. This is also quite familiar. And then we have the bottom of slab with a double channel here, as you can see. This is not so common, I would say. It's mostly common in the United States, but also maybe in India, and I'm just not up to date. Yeah, speaking about the benefits of cast-in channels, when we see here those two pictures, we know that the cast-in channel is basically a long piece. It's a channel, so we can also adjust obviously in the direction of the channel. And given that the brackets also have slots, we can now adjust with our T-bolts in 4 directions, so we can basically cover all tolerances in the 2D plane, and this gives us a very big advantage over post-installed anchors. Looking at our portfolio, I would say we can cover 99% of all applications of our hot rolled portfolio. You can see here we have various profiles, fire resistance, serrated, also different channel bolts and different coating, hot dip galvanized 50 microns. I'm not going to do too much over this, just also to show you a visual appearance of how it can look. Here you can see the different profiles, how they would compare to each other, just on a scaled level. We also have options with eye anchor. Those eye anchors typically have a higher performance in steel capacity in the anchor itself, and also in connection channel to anchors. They're not so commonly used in facade. Still, I wanted to show you. And then also we have, of course, our cold formed portfolio, also with 5 profiles. We also match the market standard we have in ETA, and also the fire resistance report. And then also how it looks like. It's round anchor, a cold form portfolio. And you can see here in the picture. Now, shortly jumping into the ETA, we also have a European technical assessment here for our cast-in channel system. And when we look in our design software, we can now design the products in the design software referring to this European technical assessment. Of course, our design software follows our company internal standards in terms of usage and user friendability of the software. So we also have a fully detailed design report, as you can see here in the pictures. Okay, now I think we have spoken enough about the product. Let's jump into some project references. Here, I would say, okay, we have our landmark project, which we have we're able to supply in Tashkent in Uzbekistan. You can see here the main building, the middle tower, was actually the one where the facade has been fixed. And we also have the Central Bank of the Republic of Turkey and Istanbul, which would be this building here, which is being built right now. And then also we have the Dubai Hills roller coaster. As you can see here in these pictures, there was some precast elements where the casting channel has been fixed. And then also the Quartier Puerto Rico Retiro in the Buenos Aires, Argentina. Okay, following this, then I would like to thank you for your attention, and please have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Bloom. Thank you once again for sharing your views. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, passive fire prevention is an integral component which is designed and built into the fabric of the structure. The risk of fire can be minimized by dividing the building into a series of compartments or cells bonded by fire-rated walls and floors. To maintain the fire-stopping integrity of the compartment or cell, or any gaps or opening or annular gaps within the fire-rated walls or floors must be sealed with Fischer approved or certified system to prevent the passage of the fire, smoke and toxic gases. To elaborate more on this subject, which is very interesting, I would say which is very important, now I would connect with Mr. Constantine Wigart to talk about Fischer Passive Fire Stop System. Before I introduce him on screen, I would like to take this opportunity to talk about him. He is head of Business Unit Facade and Fire Stop Systems. He studied civil engineering with special focus on facade technology as well as industrial engineering at the Corporate State University together with the Fischer Group of companies in Germany. After graduation, that's in 2015, he started as an application engineer within the business unit of Facade Systems. In this role, he was mainly responsible for the US market. In 2017, he took over the role as product manager for Firestop products and became the head of product management for Firestop in 2019. Since 2020, he heads the business unit of Facade Systems as well as the business unit for Firestop products. He serves within the German and European norm committee as an expert for Firestop products to develop further norms for testing and certification. So everyone, let's welcome Mr. Wigart on screen.
Hello everyone. My name is Constantine Wigart from the Fischer Group of Companies. I've joined Fischer 9 years ago and I'm currently leading the two business units of Facade Systems and Firestop Systems. For Facade Systems, my colleague Jan Zimmerman will be giving you some information, and for the business unit of Firestop, I will do so within the next couple of minutes. Firestop is an important, exciting, but also delicate topic. If a fire breaks out, active systems such as fire alarms and sprinklers are not an effective solution on their own. Only with additional Firestop products, we can compartmentize the building into different fire zones and make sure that escaping people are not harmed by the fire. Firestop products are life safety products, and everyone involved bears a great amount of responsibility, from the designer to the manufacturer to the ones installing the applications on site. We at Fischer take this given responsibility seriously, and we've developed a product range suitable for the global marketplace, but especially for India. With the relevant approvals and UL listings we have in place, we can find effective solutions for all major fire stop applications. Our team in Fischer India helps designers to make the right decisions on the type of fire stopping used. Additionally, tools such as the Fischer Professional Fire Stop app support everyone involved in the process. For non-standard applications, we have a dedicated engineering team paired with the in-house testing facility to find solutions even for complicated applications. Once the right fire stopping is selected, we support those involved in the installation with training and on-site presence to make sure that whatever is designed is then also installed correctly. We especially focus on solutions for major construction projects, especially high-rise buildings and also facade applications. Whether this is our ventilated facade fire barrier or our solution for curtain wall fire stopping to prevent the propagation of flames through the building envelope. Here, we work very closely with facade consultants and contractors not only to find safe, but also economical solutions. Besides solutions for the building envelope, we also specialized in fire stopping of construction joint applications and all applications around mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, as well as HVAC. For those applications, fire stopping forms a system together with installation systems required to fix MEP and HVAC applications back to the building. We invite you to work with us on your next project. Get in touch with Fischer India and build on their expertise in fire stopping. Because the better fire stopping is done in building construction, the safer we and our beloved ones are in the building of tomorrow. Our mission is to contribute to safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wigart. Thank you for sharing your views. Moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, Fischer anchors are the industry's benchmark and the best performing anchor in the field of structural fixings. The performance of these anchors are supported by the numerous approval and evaluations like ETA, ICC. Anchor design support to our customer and site training for installers are advising on the right anchor is what make us a preferred brand in the industry. To elaborate on this subject more, now I would call upon Dr. Thilo Pregatner to talk about Fischer design software and spring models. He's a head of technology transfer and approval in Fischer. He achieved his master's degree of civil engineering at the University of Karlsruhe and obtained his doctorate in the field of fastening technology at the Institute of Construction Materials of the University of Stuttgart. After a DFG scholarship at Heriot-Watt University in Scotland in 2003, he began working as civil engineer at the engineering office on expert opinions in the field of fastening products. From 2009 to 18, he was technical director, later senior engineering manager of the company Powers, which was acquired by Stanley Black & Decker in 2012. He was responsible for research and development, compliance, and quality. He joined the Fischer Group of Company in Feb 2018 as Head of Technology Transfer and Approval Department, the Fischer Academy, and the Stimulation Department. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Pregatner on screen. Thank you. I asked.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thilo Pregatner, and I'm working for company Fischer since 2018 as a head of technology transfer and approvals. I studied civil engineering at the University of Karlsruhe and I did my PhD in the field of anchorages at the University of Stuttgart. Afterwards, I started working as an independent expert, doing ETA assessments and evaluations of anchor behavior in cracked and uncracked concrete or in masonry. After my work as an expert in Stuttgart, I started then working in the fastening industry for an American company with a subsidiary in the Netherlands. After that, I started then 2018 at the company Fischer, where I'm still working. As one of my tasks at company Fischer, I'm involved in software development for new design methods. One of the latest achievements in this field is the anchor design with spring models, with linear and non-linear spring models, and company Fischer is there very active. Anchor design in concrete as state-of-the-art, EN 1992-4, Part 4 of Eurocode 2 is used in Europe for design. Eurocode 2 Part 4 has quite some restrictions and requirements when it comes to anchor design in concrete. And one of these restrictions is that a sufficiently stiff base plate is required. Why is that? Because it is the first step in every design of fastenings in concrete is the determination of the anchor forces based on the external forces. And this determination of the anchor forces is based on the assumption of a linear strain distribution. And finally, after the design, you have to show that this linear strain distribution is also realized in practice, which means you have to show that your base plate is sufficiently stiff. However, there is no tool really available and described in EN 1992-4 how to show that your base plate is sufficiently stiff. In the past, there were some tools available based on yield criterions. However, a yield criterion is not a stiffness criterion. In this area, in the last few years, spring models became very modern. What do you do with the spring models? With the spring models, you model the anchor plate and the profile with the finite element mesh, and you model the anchor as tension-only springs and the contact to the concrete as compression-only springs. With this relatively easy finite element model, you can then determine on one hand if your base plate is sufficiently stiff, and on the other hand, you can also develop a completely new design method. One of the most important questions if it comes to spring models is then finally the question on how do you model the springs. And there you have two possibilities. One is you take a linear spring characterization and then in combination with a finite element model, you have a tool to determine if the base plate is sufficiently stiff or not, and you can optimize your base plate. This linear spring model we have implemented in our design software, where you see a screenshot currently in the background. This linear spring model as a tool to show the sufficiently stiffness of your base plate is available from November in our online version of the software. The online version of the software you can find under www.fixperience.online. This tool is going to include a complete design of the base plate, including profiles and welding seams. The second possibility of characterization of your springs is that you use a pentalinear approach and that you model not only the first increasing part of a load displacement curve, but also the decreasing and the post-peak behavior. With that, you have then a non-linear spring model using the same finite element model as I described before. The advantage is clear that you consider also force redistributions within anchor groups, and with that you get from a non-linear spring model analysis the result of the complete load displacement behavior of an anchor group, including the consideration of the base plate stiffness. With that, you have a completely new design method, which was currently developed in a PhD thesis of Boglaka Boko, and which we are also trying to include into our design software from 2022. This is a complete new design method, so it is not really considered in any code. Thank you for your attention and have a good day.
Fischer design, software, and spring models is an important subject. Let's thank Dr. Pregatna for sharing his views on this important subject. Ladies and gentlemen, Fischer India is headquartered in Bengaluru and a flagship company of Fischer Group. The company has been delivering services and innovative solutions in construction industry over the years. Now, I would connect with Mr. Mayank Kalra, Managing Director of Fischer India, for a thank you note.
Hello everyone, I am Mayank Kalra. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining today's virtual launch of Fischer Facade Systems. At Fischer, we proactively act in a way that we not only meet our clients and our partners' expectations, but surpass them every time. We are grateful to you all designers, planners, and construction fraternity as a whole for associating with us and looking forward to continue a journey together in the continuously evolving world of challenging facades. Stay safe, stay healthy, take all safety precautions, and I would like to thank you once again for joining us today.
Thank you, Mr. Kalra. With this, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to close this virtual launch of Fischer Facade System. Everyone with a big round of applause. Please visit our Fischer website, that's www.fischer.in, or call us at 1800-121-7188. Do follow us on our social media page to get all the latest product updates. You can send all your queries to info@fischer.in to know more about Fischer Facade System. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Anita. Before signing off, let's have a look at Facade System video specially created for you.